Morning, everyone.
Michael, what's a teaching point for Cooper on the play where he fumbled?
Yeah, it was more of, our fundamentals in terms of ball security. It was a little loose, as you probably could see on the TV copy. It was kind of low, below him there. We want to get our wrist above our elbow there. Then when we get to that contact point, putting two hands, a clasp hand on it, just to make sure if there, it was a good hit by 93 right there, but we have two hands on the ball. We have an opportunity to at least secure it right there. He did a good job getting the 11 yards. And at some point, let's just protect the ball right there, not put our defense in a tough situation.
I'm sorry. What did it say about him the very next return? He comes back and returns to 22 yards.
Yeah, it shows a lot on who that person is. To be able to put that play away. The mental strength he has to come back and have an opportunity to help the team in any way he can. He does a great job on defense, obviously. But going back out there and on that fourth down, getting 23 yards, putting the ball at the plus 45, and I think we got a touchdown out of it, really helps. And it just shows his mental strength to come back, kind of flush that bad play away and come back and help the team out.
Ready to get as much as he could out of it on the 29-yard punt.
Yeah, he mishit that ball. It got outside of him. And he tried to save it, and it just went straight up in the air, so it wasn't going to travel very well. We can't put our defense in that 2-minute situation in a bad spot. We got to have a better contact point with that punt. It was just one of those missed hits that got outside of his frame, and he tried to save it, but he couldn't. And, we can't put our defense or our offense, regardless of, if we're returning or not, in a bad spot, especially in a 2-minute situation where the defense is balling out right there. It gave up 3 points, and even if it's 11 yards at the 40-yard punt, those 11 yards by the end of it probably gets them out of that field goal range. So we got to do better in those situations.
Nick was talking about Kenny Gainwell, and obviously he had a big game on offense, but also on special teams did some things. What has he done for your group?
Yeah, no, I know everyone. Coach says that Kenny Gainwell is one of his favorite players, and Kenny Gainwell is one of my favorite people I've been around since being a coach. It really just started with that first kickoff. If you look at him, he's on the right side. He pushed the guy on the ground on a really good aggressive button press. Then he comes back with 2 good returns on kickoff return and helped us out really at that end of the half. I know we may have tried to get some extra points right there. 35-yard return, then goes out there in the 2-minute drill. But I can't say enough good things about Kenny Gainwell. Fortunate enough to be around him for 4 years. I know he was part of the first draft class here with Nick. But he just wants to help the team any way he can, whether it's to spell on Saquon or to go out there on kickoff coverage, kickoff return. When I need him on punt return, he's always ready and willing to go. And it just kudos to him to be ready whenever his number's called, whether it's special teams or offense. So I can't say enough good things about Kenny Gainwell.
Successful night for Jake. What have you seen behind the scenes? That's as he's looked to get on track.
Yeah, same old Jake. Each and every day he comes in and he's so locked in on his process to get better. Him not changing anything and being that self-belief in himself is always refreshing. And, going through the whole week, and just having fun with football again. I know I alluded to it last time in this presser, was just to don't lose the joy of football. And I think for all of us, that sit in this room right here, just as long as we enjoy the process and have fun doing it, we're going to take the outcomes as it comes out. So again, good for Jake, good for the whole team, getting those points on the board when we need to. That 48-yarder was really good. He struck the ball clean, and we got that penalty with them hitting Rick. Then to go back out there in a sequence of plays to hit a 41-yarder, again, it's just going to help out the team any way we can.
Think back to last year, Nolan Smith was a core player for you. What impressions did you have of him as a first-round pick on special teams?
Yeah, like I always say, it's always nice to see when you come from a special team core forward to being a starter, and it's awesome to see Nolan. What he does on defense, you saw a lot off on special teams, that energy, that relentlessness out there. It's always, and it's a good precedence to show for like Jalix, for example. A young guy, again, to show that precedence how, you can make your mark, maybe not your first year as a defensive player, but as a special teams player. Then you could take that jump right there. So very proud of Nolan, what he's doing, but it also just sent a benchmark for all these young guys right there that first year you're in, all right, I may not be playing a lot of offense or defense, but I can make my mark on special teams.
How much does the way the defense has been playing this year increase the margin of error this team has, especially just in all facets, including picking up special teams whenever punts happen, like the 29-yarder and such?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to have a 29-yard punt in any situation. But we're from a special team standpoint, I really don't look at it from a margin of error, whether it's efficient offense or a heck of a defense that Vic has right now. We're just trying to make it where it gives that added momentum for offense and defense. You saw in the Baltimore and in the Carolina game where we helped out with those long fields right there, and it snowballs effect. And I go back 2 weeks, I think it was 2 weeks against Baltimore, where you down them inside the 5, defense gets a 3 and out, we get the ball at the plus territory off a punt return. Like, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to win that field position battle in these hitting yardage situations. So, again, we want to not put our offense and defense in that bad situation. We want to help them and propel them and, get them going, whether that's on a kickoff, a big hit or something like that, that extra juice, that extra energy, or they got to go now from the 25 instead of the 30. So from our standpoint, we're trying to be the best we possibly can be in special teams and help out the offense and defense with that field position battle.
Mikey, you talked about Nolan going from a special teamer to a defensive starter. The reverse of that would be a guy like Keeley, who played a lot more on defense last year than this year. Some guys might not handle that so well. What have you seen from him as far as his attitude towards special teams when he's not playing on defense like this year?
Yeah, I think, kind of alluded back to when we lost Josh Jobe or whatever. He became the primary gunner in that gunner room, obviously with Sidney being down for the first few 6 weeks and everything. But Keeley does a great job. He's always asking in the game, hey, what can I do here? Where are they going with the ball right there? How can I do better in that? Then Tyler Brown does a great job with them throughout the week with the gunner room and the vice room. But I think Keeley's done an unbelievable job of just taking the reins right there and playing at a high level and understanding how he can affect the game. And you've seen him on the outside as a gunner. He's affected the game, whether that's, going down, making a tackle for a 1-yard return or causing a strip fumble or something of that nature. Then on kickoff coverage, making some plays. Then really where he really shines, in my opinion, is at the vice spot. We put a lot of trust in Keeley that we're going to leave you on an island. You got to take care of their best gunner one-on-one, and he's stepped up to the plate every time, and he's really delivered for us. And it allows us to get, a vice somewhere else or play 8 in the box, something of that nature, knowing how good he is on the outside. So just being able to prep him that, hey, you're going to be a key guy to get us going has been awesome. And Keeley's answered the bell, and we're looking forward to, the remaining games for him doing the same thing.
In these press conferences, you mentioned Tyler Brown and Punting often. What value do they each provide to you and your staff?
I could go just as long with the Kenny Gainwell with Joe P. and Tyler. I've known Joe P. for a decade now. Then Tyler being, I guess, my first ever hire. They, keep me sane during the week. They keep it light on game day, and they allow me to have a clear mental thought throughout the process because we know we put in all the work from Monday all the way up to Sunday. But Tyler does a great job with the specialists and on the outside guys, just being able to talk with the specialists the same language they hear, then switching his brain and getting out to that vice, whatever they can, give little tidbits at. Then Joe P., he bridges everything. Joe P.'s been around football a long time and kind of goes unnoticed or under the radar, but he bridges everything. He's able to help me get to some guys, connect to some guys, and I kind of bounce off ideas off them or get their opinion. I know they're going to shoot it to me straight. After every meeting, I ask them, hey, what did I miss here? Or what can I do better here? So those two guys, I owe a lot to them, and they're doing a heck of a job, especially Tyler coming from, the college ranks to now. He's just improved every day, and he's always a joy to be around. We share an office together, so it's always nice when you do share an office with a guy for 12 hours a day. It could be monotonous, but he always keeps it lively in there with, some sort of joke or watching a Premier League game or something like that. So I have nothing but respect and admiration for both Joe P. and Tyler.
Last one, please. We got Keeley.
What was the Ravens game like for Tyler?
Shoot. I really didn't ask him too much. I know, him and Randy, but I think it was a little, bittersweet, I guess, being around those specialists so much with Randy, but being with us, wanting to get that win. And luckily we were on the right side of the winning track right there. So, again, I'm sure Randy likes him a little bit more this week since we helped him out with beating the Steelers.